You want to play our game? All right. It's gonna hurt. It's Full Metal Challenge.
Welcome to Full Metal Challenge, the ultimate fairground.
For total vehicular insanity.
Our mutant motor funfair is this defunct power station on the south coast of England. We've packed it with 9 devilish events designed to strike fear into the hearts of even the toughest of tough guys.
Because what Full Metal Challenge is all about is hunting down the fastest, meanest, toughest, most nimble warrior vehicle in the whole of God's sweet earth.
But if we had big plans, we were going to have to find teams with even bigger ones, because we needed people balmy enough to subject their homemade creations to a good old hiding in our games.
So we scoured the 4 corners of the earth to find 27 teams of mad mechanics and dangerous drivers and gave them 1 month to build the perfect endurance vehicle.
Our headcase teams come from all around the world, from Germany to China, Russia to Australia. All 5 continents will be in attendance at this first ever World Series for cars.
With just 30 days and the equivalent of $3,000, these teams had to build machines ready for anything, but most importantly, ready to defeat the opposition in any test they could imagine.
They don't know what's in store, but they do know that at stake is a place in the semi-finals. Let's meet them. In the last of our heats, the UK representative is a team of Bravehearts, the Tartan Tinkerers from Scotland.
We're the Tartan Tinkerers. We'll be taking on the opposition in true gladiatorial style with our chariot, Spartacus.
Next up for the United States, a team of Native Americans, Tribal Force from Oklahoma.
We're Tribal Force. We're on the warpath to the final in our rawhide warrior, the Res Ride.
And finally, a family of lawnmower engineers, Kiwi Thunder, all the way from New Zealand.
We're Kiwi Thunder, and we're going to mow down the opposition with our mega mower, Black Thunder.
Through the course of the day, our final set of rookies will be initiated in a league table of 3 different games. After the 3rd game, the team at the bottom will be sent, swathed in a cloak of shame, to our chimney of doom. The winning 2 teams go on to our most violent battle, Car Sumo. Only one will survive.
Tribal Force, are you ready?
Yeah!
Tartan Tinkerers, are you ready?
Neighbor!
Kiwi Thunder, are you ready?
Yeah!
Well then, let's get on with the games.
Have you ever thought about what it would be like to be a bowling pin? Day after day, standing still while a bowling ball smashes into you? Poor little bowling pin. Well, here at Full Metal Challenge, we play a game of 10 pin, and we use 12-foot-high bowling pins, and our contestants take their little car and slam it into the 12-foot-high bowling pins over and over again. Poor little car. Let's play 10 pin.
I'm here with Steve from the Kiwi team in the truly unique Black Thunder. How are you going to drive this puppy down there?
I've got no idea. Looks like fun.
You think? So there's no strategy, just get on the slippery surface and see.
Do our best.
Okay, well, best of luck
Thank
in the
you.
supermarket trolley. Take it away.
Okay.
Black Thunder weighs in at just 1.3 tons and is really a lawnmower crossed with a shopping trolley. Giant caster wheels on the front give a 0 turning circle, while its unique roll cage can withstand massive impact from all directions. A truly original machine with no brakes, no clutch and no gears. Just forward and reverse levers, Black Thunder could mow down the competition.
Black Thunder might look more at home in a supermarket alley than our bowling alley, which is slipperier than an oil slick since we've drenched it in soapy water. And we'll soon see how it stands up to the impact from our 150-pound pins. Steve will get 2 chances to work his Black Kiwi magic.
So what's your prediction? How many pins are going down?
6 in the first run.
6 in the first one?
Hopefully, yeah. Well, that's what he's been told to do. I'll write the check for payday.
Are
Does he
you?
do everything he's told? Then have him get all 10 down and go get me breakfast.
Come on, Black Thunder.
Okay, so what was it now? Half a dozen eggs, a small white loaf of bread, some fruits and vegetables. Steve's in no great hurry up that alley. Mind you, those pins kind of look intimidating from there.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Not bad.
I think that is officially our slowest run ever.
We didn't want to go fast.
Well, you achieved that.
Yep, they weren't breaking any land speed records, but traction with caster wheels on a slippery surface is kind of a distant dream. And Steve puts all his energy into just making it to the pins.
We just want to knock them over. But yeah.
We don't want to wreck them for the other team.
No.
Come
They'll see all
on,
these
that's
black
not the
marks.
This could be the most
spirit.
considerate team we've had.
Viewers at home, this would be a good moment to go get coffee. Don't worry, I'll call you when he gets to the pins.
Roaring down the lane, but
It's slow motion.
getting down there nonetheless.
I guess those Kiwis have a reputation for being laid back. It's not a run to get any hearts racing, but that doesn't matter. The score matters, and that's a doozy.
Steve, I think we saw a snail just overtake you on the inside there. Your strategy ended up being slow, but pretty
Well,
successful.
that's the idea. It's very hard to know what it's like in there.
Yeah.
It's very slippery, so
Could you feel how slippery it was? Because it felt like you just kept a dead centre line.
you could a little bit, yeah. Yeah, it's very hard to say.
And how did you handle?
That was fine. It goes better at faster speed, that's the thing. So
Right. Oh, well, we'll look forward to
I
that.
didn't want to go spinning off the track into the dirt. So.
Well, it's a very respectable score, but we'll see if anyone could do better. Up next, we've got Tribal Force.
Okay, Leslie, you are the second driver today. You get 2 runs at this. Are you ready?
Ready.
Confident?
Yes, I am.
I know you're going to do great. Sir, start your engine.
Thank you, thank you.
At just under 2 tons, the Res Ride is a cocktail of traditional and modern Native American ingenuity. An extra set of wheels on a third hydraulic axle gives extra traction, and a low centre of gravity gives stability, and its rawhide armour should fend off the blows. All in all, the Res Ride should prove a sturdy warhorse in which to ride into battle.
Well, I'm pretty sure that they didn't practice oversized bowling on the plains, but hopefully that rawhide will do some useful deflecting work here.
Have we got any team tactics for this one? Of course. And?
Oh, well, you have to keep it secret from us. It's not like we can change anything. All right.
So Les is off hunting. His prey? 10 pins who ate too much dinner. He's trying to skin it, but it's too late.
That means a 3.
I think it was 3 now.
You got 3.
Looks like
3 down,
three,
7
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
They didn't get lucky here. You can really see how much he's trying to spin that baby, but the floor's so slippery, he can't even find enough traction to lose control.
When you're sitting in the cockpit, it'd probably be different from us standing here on the side.
I'm sure that's true. And the pressure.
Oh, yeah.
What, the pressure of this event?
Yeah.
This is the walk in the park part.
Forward!
All right.
Hit it! Nice!
Whoa, he's giving it some green this time.
Les is not a man to be beaten by some pig-headed pins. Ooh!
So, how was the first run in the Res Ride?
Oh, I don't think we did too well.
5?
Yeah. I was hoping to get all these down over here.
So why couldn't you do that?
I didn't angle up on that pin properly,
Right.
so you head on.
Were you hoping to get more of a
Yeah,
kind of skid than
I
you
tried
could?
that, yeah.
Well, 5 points, nothing wrong with that. Early days, very early days, but we'll see if the Tartan Tinkerers can do any better.
I'm with Tarek from the Tartan Tinkerers. Tarek, you are the 3rd man to play 10 pin today.
Yeah.
The Kiwis got 8. Tribal Force, the Americans, they got 5. I think you're going to get 10 or something close. You're better. Are you ready?
I'm ready, man.
I know you're going to do great. Have a good ride.
Yes.
Coming in right on the maximum weight limit of 3 tons, Spartacus is an unwieldy monster. It has 6 wheels, but the back 2 can be raised to reduce the vehicle's turning circle. It also features an unusual airbag feature at the front to aid suspension. Its weak link could be the chain driving those hefty rear axles. But Spartacus means business, and his opponents could have a fight on their hands.
Spartacus has gathered his forces and is ready to lead his first march against his deadly pen-like foe.
What size engine have you got in there?
Big.
It sounds big. How big? Thank you for the technical information there.
Green flags are down. Let's get it out.
Now he's taking it very steady.
It's the day for gentle runs.
Wheelbase is so
I
wide.
know. You can only just make it down the alley.
But he's not using his size to full effect head-on. And it's a bit more spare Spartacus than fair Spartacus.
4 to go.
Spartacus has the opposite problem from the lighter vehicles. He has so much weight and such a huge tyre footprint on the ground, there's just no way he can skid it around. And the best he can do is steer a course and get down 4.
Here he goes.
Go on. We need at least 4 down. Raucous Hallelujah Chorus, then joint Tom. Nicely done. Happy about that?
Yeah, that's good. I would have liked the other two, but, you know,
Was there anything you were trying to do that you couldn't do?
I was wanting to spin the back end a bit just to catch that last one there, but too much traction, I think.
Yeah, too good.
Well, we'll see.
You took it quite steady. I mean, do you think if you'd have had a bit more speed, you could have got round there?
Well, I think with the weight of the vehicle, I was going to knock them over. Speed wasn't, it was a bit more skill rather
Yeah.
than down out speed.
There we go, all skill.
Yeah.
Well, very good result for the Tartan Tinkerers. Let's see what it does to the scores. 2 of our teams share the big bonanza, with Kiwi Thunder and the Tartan Trio taking home 2.5 points apiece. And it's Tribal Force who have to scrabble around to pick up the sorry singleton. Our teams had just a month and the equivalent of $3,000 to build their killer contraptions. Let's see how the Kiwis spent their money. There's no doubt where Kiwi Thunder got their inspiration.
From day one, when we looked at the concept of this and we said, let's build a big mower, we've stuck with that and we haven't diverted one bit from that. And all we've done with Black Thunder is made the same as this but gone up 300%.
They may be humble mower mechanics, but Kiwi Thunder have friends in high places. They brought in the boffins from the Auckland University of Technology to make sure their vehicle could take the knocks.
So it's built very, very strongly.
So in other words, we could hit a Mack truck, bounce off and still survive, keep going.
Oh yes, that's what this is built for.
2 weeks into the build and Black Thunder was really starting to take shape. Its frame, its hydraulically driven rear wheels and its front casters were all in place. All that was missing now was the power. With no time for changes, all the team could do was hope their machine would perform. And they weren't disappointed.
Pretty aggressive, but awesome fun.
So is this what all cars look like in New Zealand then?
Well, we'd hope so. Because after this, they want to build them like this.
Do you think this could be the prototype?
For the motorways, bouncing down. We've made this to be durable, and manoeuvrable, and hopefully the driver's got some intelligence.
And original. I mean, was that important? Is that a Kiwi thing?
Certainly is.
It had to be good looking.
Right.
Women
Like
have
the
to look
teeth.
at this and fall in love with it.
It's a chick
It's
magnet.
important. Yeah, that's it.
Well, it's an excellent looking machine and it's looking good for you at the moment. But we've got something rather nasty for you next, I'm afraid.
If you liked our version of 10-pin, wait till you see our Hall of Mirrors.
Oh yeah, there's no room for laughs in this funfair classic. A brain-aching maze of twisted reflections which would test any team's tolerance.
Lovely. That's coming up next.
Welcome back to Full Metal Challenge, the ultimate test of ingenuity and insanity.
2 teams are tied for first place. Here's the reason why.
But the American team are still a force to be reckoned with. And they'll need their full fighting force for our Hall of Mirrors, a mind-boggling maze with little room for manoeuvre and no time for reflection. Tribal Force are very proud of their Native American heritage and wanted to create a vehicle that was a mix of modern engineering and traditional craftsmanship. The perfect starting point for Tribal Force's all-Indian machine was Paul's backyard in Stillwater, Oklahoma, which was piled high with the necessary raw material.
Okay, this is day one. It's our tear-down day. The first step's basically removing the body. What we're adding to that good base design is a hydraulically powered axle. We think this is going to give us more power and better maneuverability.
I think our strengths are adaptability. We're not afraid to pull out big hammers and start pounding on things to make it work.
By the last day, the basics were done, but the team had left the trickiest jobs till last.
We're going to use rawhide armor. It's lightweight, it's very strong, and rawhide was used as shields by Native American warriors a long time ago.
Armour and war paint in place, the Res Ride was ready for battle. This vehicle's covered in rawhide. I think that is definitely a unique thing in this competition. Is that, well, firstly, how do you do it? I mean, how do you actually put that on there?
You soak them in water and get them wet, and then they're real pliable, real stretchy, and you put it on and stretch it as tight as you can, and they just kind of mold over the vehicle.
Right.
And they really, rawhide's really tough.
Is it tough? I mean, I can understand that it's tough for resisting, you know, sharp objects and things going into it, but when you've got kind of like, you know, the weight of Scotland or New Zealand ploughing into you, do you think, is it going to resist?
Well, I guess we'll see today.
It's a new rawhide test.
Yeah.
Well, it's an excellent machine, very unique.
We hope so.
At this point in the day, you're trailing, but it's very, very early days.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll soon see how you get on when you face the Hall of Mirrors.
You know the Hall of Mirrors at a fair? You're thin, you're fat, you're big, you're small, and it's a lot of fun. We got a Hall of Mirrors, and it's all that, but not as much fun. You drive around in your car lost, and as soon as you think you know where you're going, the walls change direction and you're more lost than you ever were. So, spectators, prepare to get your superiority complex on as we watch our contestants lose their way here on Full Metal Challenge.
Our Hall of Mirrors is Hell's Half Acre of labyrinthine torment. The teams are in it together, starting at 3 points on the outside of the maze. They must enter, find their way to the centre, and be first back out again. Helping them are their teammates, watching an overhead view and passing on directions. So what makes it so difficult? Well, some of these walls move. So what was previously a major highway is now a dead end. We may be here some time.
Tribal Force, are you ready? Kiwi Thunder, are you ready? Tartan Tinkerers, are you ready? Gentlemen, are you ready? Yeah! Let's play Hall of Mirrors.
And in they go. The Scots have genetically modified Spartacus. He's down from his 6 to his 4-wheel configuration, but he still looks a bit unwieldy in there. Whereas the Kiwis' hyper-maneuverable Mini-Me is made to measure for this game.
And the Americans should do okay too. They're nimble and they need this one. That's a deadly combination. The Tartan boys have moved approximately 3 feet so far. That's an average speed of nearly a quarter mile an hour.
Waiting for a gate to open, but no, there's no gate here.
Nothing is gonna hold those Kiwis back. Oh, except doors being slammed in their face. They're trying another route.
What would you rather be in? The shopping trolley, the monster truck, or the recycled cow?
Number 2.
Can you back up all the way?
Back up all the way.
All 3 teams are being frustrated by closed gates.
Straight ahead. If you go right, you come into the last maze there, and you've got to hope that the door's not going to open.
While the Kiwis scuttle around like cockroaches, trying every possible pathway. Spartacus has decided to sit and bide his time.
Yeah, I'll wait. I want to wait one of these gates to open.
Unsurprisingly, it's the Kiwis' approach that pays dividends.
You head right in the centre of the thing is there. Head right, you're on the centre.
Oh, he's doing
Get
well.
on it. Go straight on it, right onto it, Steve, you're in.
And the shopping trolley reaches the center in record time. Steve's shopping cart is around our maze quicker than a husband picking up snacks for the Super Bowl.
The teams could hardly be more widely spread. The Kiwis have reached the centre. The Tartan trio are big, unmanoeuvrable and lazy. They're just sitting waiting for the gate. That's not the idea, chaps. Tribal Force are the in-betweeners, making better progress in their nimbler machine, but also struggling with unfortunate gate turnage.
The Kiwis are making it all look easy. They're nimble as naked mole rats, and they know they're worn like the back of their naked hands.
Hard right, and you can see the accident ahead of you.
And the end is in sight.
You're out of there.
The shopping cart is out!
Yeah!
This game was designed for you. 1 down, 2 to go. The Scotsmen are making slow but steady progress around the outside, but they're feeling the force because those Americans have ridden their res ride to within sight of the inner sanctum.
Go straight, go straight, go straight, go straight, go straight. Go straight through, straight through, straight through. Go straight. Now right around that wall, and you're in the center.
The Americans have conquered the center.
Okay, can you make a left? Left there?
And they're not going to waste any time starting straight back out.
It's not looking good for Spartacus. He's continuing his long, slow march, but he really needs a bit of help from the gods on this one.
Nice and steady. Okay, Ari.
Forward left.
I think the gods just stepped off the Greyhound.
What happened, Les?
DIW.
Uh-oh. DIW. Universal language for dead in the water.
Go down a little bit to give it a shot.
Tribal Force have been having battery problems all day, but what a time to give up the ghost, just as Spartacus hoves into view. The Scots want that centre square, but the Americans are squatting it.
At least I picked a good place to die.
Yeah.
They can't come in there now.
It's stalemate. This is a new one on us. What does Chief Ref Dave Marsh prescribe?
The Tartan Tinkerers are in a position to have actually entered that point. We don't have to stop the game. We can continue. We deemed it that he would have been able to enter that cell had that vehicle not been blocking his entry.
Very good.
So the Tartan Tinkerers are given a virtual pass to the centre and can start heading out again to freedom on the outside. While the poor old Res Ride can only console himself with having lived up to Res Ride tradition of catastrophic breakdown.
Hey, see if you can get those Scots to give us a jump.
Yeah, keep coming out that way, Ari. You're doing well, man.
It's not quick or pretty watching the Scotsmen get their beast out of there, but with the Americans stranded, they can happily play tortoise.
Your exit's almost straight in front of you there. Can you see it? The blue chips? Right, reverse out lovely. Yeah, that's it. Nice and steady, man.
And they've done it!
Yes! Yes!
Fellas, we love you dearly. You ran this race. You stunk. You died in the middle holding the American flag. Well, it wouldn't be the first time. Okay, so scoreboard on the wall. Show me the lamest team of them all.
Well, there was no doubt who were the least lame. The Kiwis cavorted home in an easy first place for 3 points. The Scots bask in reflected American misery to bag the 2 points for second, but the lame-o prize goes to Tribal Force in their Res Ride, though the refs did award them a point for their original interpretation of conquering the centre.
So overall, the Kiwis are proving that shopping carts are an underused form of transport. They're on the top shelf with 5.5 points. The Scotsmen are chasing their tails with 4.5. And the Americans might be summoned for a word with the elders. They're trailing with a meager 2 points.
Well, after some stylish steering through the maze, the Tartan Tinkerers are on a roll. But how was Spartacus conceived? The Tartan Tinkerers build began with the team desperately trying to get their heads round their different ideas.
I could see the finished article in my head. But to try and explain it to you guys... Oof.
I think it's good that we try and work it out in our heads or on paper in the first instance, you know.
And despite starting from scratch, it went smoothly until 2 weeks in. The plan was to give Spartacus a third set of back wheels, which could be raised to give extra manoeuvrability and lowered to give more traction. But the only way to do it was via a tricky chain-driven system.
Look at the chain, then onto sprocket, and round, and so forth.
Everything seemed to be going to plan until the team put the chain-driven rear axle to the test.
We tried it and it didn't work. So it was late nights and baggy eyes.
But the hard work eventually paid off, and on the final day, Spartacus looked ready to take anything on. Why why build a really, really sturdy, heavy vehicle and have chain drive, which does seem like your Achilles heel?
It was the only way that we were going to get four-wheel drive on the back. Otherwise, we could have just altered a Range Rover. We wanted something different.
Well, Tartan Tinker is in a pretty good position at the moment, but we've got some nasty tricks up our sleeves.
I know. It's George who has to have the nasty tricks.
George is driving
So
next.
George is up next?
George is up next.
The Tartan Tinkerers may think they're in a nice high and dry place, but wait till they're half drowned in Metropolis.
These teams were meant to be prepared for anything, but did they prepare their steeds for a course in 2.5 feet deep of festering swampland?
Oh, that's up next. In every life, a little rain must fall, and in every episode of Full Metal Challenge, a car must burn. The team that finds themselves in last place at the end of this next round will have their vehicle repossessed by me and thrown into this furnace and incinerated.
And it looks like Henry could be in danger of cremating his own countrymen, because things aren't looking too rosy for Tribal Force. Have a look at the scores. Yep, the Americans have some work to do if they don't want to feel the force of our furnace. They're bottom of the heap with 2. Scotland are braving it out in second with 4.5, and the Kiwis are leading the way for shopping carts with 5.5 points.
Ah, nature. What could disturb this placid aquatic paradise? How about cars making laps around this pond looking for the shortest time? Welcome to Full Metal Challenge's Metropolis.
Our wetlands are 3 acres of putrid swamp. The water's up to 2.5 feet deep, so there's every chance of drowning, especially when our course takes in all our fire hydrants, some of which we found it necessary to put in the deepest parts. If they do a hit and run on any of our road signs or pedestrians, they'll be punished with a 10-second time penalty for each one. The object is this: loop the loop around each of these 3 giant fire hydrants as fast as possible and romp home. The tricky parts are this lagoon is up to 2.5 feet deep, and for some sick reason they have to do all their looping in reverse. Fastest time from start to finish wins.
All right, Steve, your team, Kiwi Thunder, is numero uno in the lead. You have an intense pond to get all the way around. You have to do it right, and you can't knock anything over, and your vehicle's very low to the ground. I hope you don't drown. Have a good race, okay? All right.
Steve's been doing motocross, you see, so he should be used to this, travelling water and stuff.
Travelling water in a shopping trolley?
Yeah.
The Kiwis had the foresight to give Black Thunder a diesel engine, which means no water-sensitive electrics to worry about. Go!
And off they go.
He's off! Go Black Thunder!
It's a brave little vehicle.
Whether Steve is as waterproof is another matter.
That must be just about the deepest part.
That's pretty
No.
The danger with this vehicle is that being so light, it might not have enough weight to keep them down on the ground and with enough traction in the deepest parts. And Steve might have to change his name to Bob.
But he's reached the first hydrant. He's shifted into reverse.
Wait for the flag, Steve. Keep going.
And despite a good drenching, he's around smoothly.
Now that engine's sounding fine, isn't
Yeah, it's all right.
I'm in love with that motor. It's not missing one beat. The valves are perfect on that end. If it stops, it's my fault.
It's not the fastest run we've seen by a long chalk, but Black Thunder isn't about speed, he's all about survival.
Finish first you must finish.
I think he's got his reverse thing wired better now. This is making me more
Green
efficient.
flag on number 2.
Yeah, he's good now.
Keeping up momentum, however little of it, could be his key to success in completing this one. The last thing he wants is a stall out.
Come on, Steve.
5.3. I have to say, I think this probably is a beatable time.
We'll see.
No, that's fine. That's fine. You know, to finish is the important part.
Steve's got very wet pants, but he's keeping his head above water coming out of the third hydrant.
As long as the engine keeps churning away.
That is Absolutely amazed, I must say.
Well, if there's anyone in the market for an underwater lawnmower, give us a call at 1-800-KiwiCart.
Come on, cheer him in, cheer him in. Come on, Steve.
Boy, floor it now, really. Come on.
I can't, it's sort of. You just so can't. He's smiling to the cameras.
That's no smile, that's a grimace. He's wincing at that shell in his pants.
I'm scared.
Yeah, you've done well. Good on you, bud. How many fish have you got in there? Well, you must have caught dinner.
Enough for dinner.
Yeah, I think so. Kathy wants to buy
I
it.
want to know, actually, where was the highest point the waterline was on your body?
Oh, back here. What about the middle bit?
It does swim, doesn't it?
It does. About
It's
that
tempting to put you in even deeper water, isn't it? Just to see what happens.
I think you should hop in and try it. Great.
I've been given a time for you. You know, it wasn't super fast, but still very respectable. 4 minutes, 17 seconds.
Great.
Excellent. That's good.
But finishing was everything, yeah?
Yep.
Pretty much, that's it.
That's it.
What it's all about.
You can sit back and enjoy watching the others drown. And up next, we've got the Tartan Tinkerers.
Okay, Steve, you are the second man to be taking on Metropolis. How is your confidence level at this point?
Well, it's quite good at the minute.
So you're going to have a good time?
Well, it's a warm day like this, into the water. I'm quite happy with that.
All right. Well, we like having you around, so please do not drown on me. Have a good ride.
Are you quite confident about this race?
That should be our game.
Have you tested it in any depth of water?
We'll try it in water.
Test it anywhere.
I'm thinking this is more suited to us because of our ground clearance.
Yes, I'd rather be high up where you are than where the Kiwis were. Spartacus definitely has the edge on ground clearance and the benefit of a water-loving diesel engine. But he also has chain drive. And let's put it this way, not a lot of boats have chain drive. But he's romping along. But not for long.
Oh no, their chains come off.
Chain broken.
That's us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard some bad sound in there.
Yeah.
There's no recovery.
No recovering now.
That's us.
That's the chain broken.
The Tartan Tinkerers are dead in the water. Good thing we found out what DIW stood for.
George started out at quite a pace, but the bottom of Metropolis isn't nice smooth tarmac, it's full of lumps and bumps. Spartacus must have hit one of those lumps with enough force to break their loose, vulnerable homemade chain completely in two. And now it's down to some non-chain driven heavy machinery to pull the damp Scotsman back to land. It's pretty obvious looking at it, but what? Any particular reason you think that chain?
Well, I'm not sure. There's a link, obviously at least one link missing out of it. I would say there's one link broken, and that's
Right.
part of it there.
Who did the chain, out of interest? Who's the mechanic on this team?
Well, we all done it, but it's,
Oh, that's
it's
very
I think
valiant of
that's
you.
a second-hand chain, actually. And there was some
I think all
extra...
of this machine's second-hand, isn't it? Were you worried about going in the water with chain
Not a
drive?
bit, no. If that hadn't given way, I could have easily charged round there and maybe gained some points. No problem.
All right, well, we might move you out of the way, I'm afraid,
Yeah.
sir, and get on with Tribal Force.
Okay.
This next run will determine who goes to the Eliminator and who gets eliminated. That's coming up right after this.
Welcome back to the final run of Metropolis, and it really is make or break time for Tribal Force.
All right, Les, you saw what happened to the Tartan Tinkerers. They got about 10 feet out there and died. Okay, so you think you can do better?
We're going to give it a shot.
Please do better. Thank you, sir. Have a good ride.
Thank you, thank you.
How are we feeling about this? Have we been in water in the
We're very confident.
res ride before?
But we've been confident before. We're going to do the best we can.
Well, we saw Tribal Force struggle in the last game thanks to a dodgy battery. They've replaced it with a new one and are hoping to avoid getting sunk again here. But it'll still be touch and go with an electric engine in a deep old pond of water.
And Les is wisely sticking to the shallows.
Just slow down, Les.
Why are you
yourself
worried
out
if
of
he
water.
guns it then?
I just want him to finish.
Right.
Well, so far, so good.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, not again.
Come on!
That's it.
Unbelievable.
We're done. Sorry. Just must be getting wet. We tried to waterproof the electronics, and something's getting wet.
You did a thrilling 27.8 seconds.
Has any other team beat that?
Yes.
I apologize. We would have finished the.
I think today should be declared a national DIW holiday.
Despite Les's best efforts to stick to the shallow water, their engine isn't that high and must have got just enough of a baptism to dampen those electrics, and with them Tribal Force's hopes.
In fact, the only vehicle working properly around here today is our rescue vehicle. Maybe we'll enter it for the competition next year.
What? I mean, it's just general engine wetness.
Yes, I don't know why. But even if I did go around the outside, I
You
couldn't
still
have
have to
gone.
go to the deep water.
I couldn't have gone in the deep.
Yeah, it didn't like it, did it,
No.
as soon as you were up more than about a foot. Well, it's a very sad end for Tribal Force, and I don't want to be the voice of doom, but let's have a look at the scoreboard. Well, well, Metropolis has never taken so many victims. Both the Scotsmen and the Americans failed to finish, so no points for either of them, which made it a pretty easy job for those plucky Kiwis to emerge champs again and cash in another big three-pointer.
So overall, the scores look like this. Look away, Tribal Force, it isn't a pretty sight. And it's time for the temperamental res ride to make the ultimate sacrifice.
Well, Henry and I always really hate it when we have to say goodbye to teams.
I really want to get the true emotion of what I'm going through right now.
Really
with the destruction of the Res Ride.
You want us to help you?
I'm so sorry. I don't want your car to
He
go
takes it worse
away.
than you guys, you know?
I don't want your car to
It's
go
gotta go.
away.
It's gotta go.
I can't wait to see your car go
You know,
away.
you're laughing and he's crying and it's all good.
There it goes.
There it goes. Bye!
At least it went out with a bang.
Well, Tribal Force may have taken an early retirement, but for our two survivors, the biggest job is still to come.
All right.
Oh my God!
Miss it, and you'll kick yourself. Hell, I'll send her down to kick you.
Welcome back to Full Metal Challenge, and for the Tartan Tinkerers and Kiwi Thunder, it's one opponent down, one to go.
It was neck and neck in the bowling alley with both Scots and Kiwis on an even demolition mission. There is no doubt who were the champs in the maze, though. The Kiwis powered their shopping cart out almost before anyone else had even left home base. And in Metropolis, the only team of all three who made it home at all. The others both drowned in the pond. But none of it matters now, because we're clearing the slate for Sumo.
You're driving in your car and everything is fine, and all of a sudden, wham! A car slams into you and you say, okay, and you back up and you slam into him. And all of a sudden everything is burning tires and smoking engine, and you say, hey, is this some kind of dream? No, it's no dream, it's Sumo on Full Metal Challenge.
One driver will emerge from here bathed in glory and the other dripping in shame. And both probably pierced with barbed wire and tyre spikes because this place is littered with them. The rules are simple. Stay alive and shove your opponent out before he does it to you. In the blue corner, the massive Spartacus is right on the 3-ton weight limit. Add a top speed of 70 miles an hour and you've got yourself a bit of a monster. He had chain problems in the last game, but the team have done a repair job and the beast is ready for battle.
In the red corner, it's the tiny Black Thunder. At just under 1.5 tons, he's half the weight of his opponent, as well as seriously outpowered with a titchy 2-liter engine. But he's got a roll cage to resist anything and a lot of pluck, so he could yet be David to the Scots' Goliath.
So who will vanquish in this mismatched sparring match? The chunky Celts or the cutesy Kiwis?
Steve, the Tartan Tinkerer's vehicle is about 2 times the size of yours. You are maneuverable, but you are slight. So do you have a strategy?
Not really. We're just going to give it our best shot and just, you know...
Hang in there?
Just give it death, basically.
Okay.
Try and hang in there.
Well, you've been doing great today, and
I'm very interested to see how you guys go.
So are we.
So, George, how did you draw the short straw for the driving seat?
Well, since I failed in the water attempt, the chain broke, they gave me this job, so...
Gave you another chance.
Yeah.
Do you think the chain's going to stay on this time?
Well, it might be quite difficult. These humps here, I'm not sure, but we'll try our
Right.
best. I'll be
You've
very
got
slow. I need to go very
You've got a
canny,
weight
you know.
advantage, haven't you, over your
Yeah,
adversary here?
yeah, but he's a bit more nimbler and agile, so...
Cat and mouse.
Yeah, that's about it.
All right, well, best of luck.
Okay, thanks very much.
Each round of combat lasts for 2 minutes or until someone is incapacitated or shoved out of the ring. And out means right out of the biggest black ring.
Start your engines. Let's play sumo.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, sumo! They're off, and straight away the Kiwis are round and on the offensive. They might be small, but they're no scaredy cats. Though quite what he means to achieve by mounting the Scott's rear wheels is anybody's guess. But he's trying it again. Oh no! The 3-ton Spartacus is reversing into the tiny Kiwis! Black Thunder's all over the place!
They tipped nearly right over. The Kiwis started it, but it was the Scots who nearly finished it off. The caster wheels were completely off the ground, and Steve the Kiwi almost found himself on an unplanned trip down under.
The Scots are getting into position for a rear guard offensive.
No.
But it's the Kiwis who go in for the kill.
Yeah, the chain's gone.
The chain is gone.
Spartacus has lost his chain, the chain that makes the wheels go round. There's no recovering from that.
Steve goes in like a sniper. The opponent might be called Spartacus, but he's still got an Achilles heel. He jabs at the chain, and the mighty Spartacus is subjugated.
The Kiwis have done it, but they still seem to want more of a fight. Bam! It really is all over. The Kiwis are the victors!
That's us.
Congratulations, guys. Nice one. It's about as graceful as a dog cocking its leg up at a lamppost. But it's a job done. The Tartan Tinkerers are terminated.
All right. Nice going, man. Congratulations. Woo! Yes.
Good one, Steve.
You beat the giant. Good one.
Well done.
A little vehicle that could.
It does.
Okay, when I asked you if you had any strategy, you said, no, I knew you were bluffing me because I asked your pit crew, and I said, do you guys have a strategy? And they said, yeah, take them out in 10 seconds and win and go home.
That's it.
So you did it. So
Yeah.
you're fooling me.
Oh, well.
Okay, there you go. I'll let you slide this time. All right, nice going, you guys. Congratulations.
Thanks very Good much. one, Steve. We'll be back. Coming back.
Oh, George. It hasn't really been your day in there,
He's
has
broke
it?
my motor. Did you catch that? Kiwi's number. I need his insurance.
Was it the same thing as happened in the water?
The opposite chain's broken
it's
this
the other
time, but there's damage to that wheel as well.
Sheared a half shaft on this side.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be taken from behind by a small New Zealand
I
vehicle?
know, I know. I'll tell you, that is a good machine. That's a very sturdy and manoeuvrable machine. That's very good.
Well, you've been great competitors.
Ah.
And now Spartacus is going to the great Spartacus cemetery in the sky.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Well, I'm afraid it's goodbye to the Tartan Tinkerers. You guys, the Kiwi Thunder, are coming back next time.
And we'll see you next time on Full Metal Challenge. Yeah!
So the Kiwis win that last coveted place in the semi-finals. Yes, that means next week it's semi-final time. And champs from 3 of the heats, the Flaming Aussies, the British Aquaholics and the Chinese Flying Horse team go head-to-head in brand new games to decide who gets the grand prize of a place in the finals.